Moist, full of flavor, and packed with protein, this lentil lasagna recipe will be your new favorite. It's easy to prepare with all the prep done in 40 minutes, and it freezes perfectly too. Hello, I'm Catherine, Brian's behind the camera, and we finally have a vegan lasagna recipe that we are so proud of and honestly can't wait to dig into at the end of this video.
If I showed up at someone's house and they made this for me, they'd be my new best friend.
You'd move in?
Well, you made me food and I moved in.
I'm going to show you how to make a lentil meat sauce that is so full of flavor, savory, stays moist in the oven, and is ready in 25 minutes. And that's with using lentils that I'm cooking from scratch. While your lentils are cooking, you'll blend up the simplest tofu cheese sauce, cook your noodles, and by the time the lentils are done, you'll be ready to layer up your lasagna. I used 2 cups of dry green lentils for this recipe. You can use brown lentils as well because they're really similar. And lentils are one of my favorite ingredients to use because they're so thrifty. They're full of protein and they're so versatile. These 2 cups will swell to about 4 to 5 cups once they're cooked. So if you want to make the prep for this recipe even simpler and quicker and use canned lentils, then click the recipe in the description box below and scroll to the notes section of the recipe card. I give you some extra tips there. To add all of the savory flavor to this lentil meat sauce, I use a few big flavor boosters. And one of the standouts is chipotle pepper and adobo sauce. If you've made my red lentil ragu, then you know how much flavor these add to a sauce. The other flavor booster of note is toasted ground sunflower seeds, which add so much warmth and depth to this sauce. You could use another seed or nut in its place, like pumpkin seeds or walnuts, and I think it's about time I get your mouth watering and we make this sauce. To make the lentil meat sauce, saute half a yellow onion and 6 cloves minced garlic for 2 to 3 minutes until fragrant. Add 2 cups rinsed dry green lentils, 4 cups vegetable broth, and 1 bay leaf. Bring to a boil, reduce to a low boil, and cook for 15 minutes until most of the broth has been absorbed. Add 1 minced chipotle pepper and adobo sauce, 2 teaspoons ground cumin, 2 teaspoons smoked paprika, half a cup toasted and ground sunflower seeds, 1 tablespoon tamari or soy sauce, and 1 tablespoon vegan Worcestershire sauce or more tamari. Cook for an additional 5 to 10 minutes until the lentils are soft and can be lightly mashed with the back of your spoon. Set aside. Pretty easy, right? And remember those 15 minutes when the lentils were cooking away on their own? That's when you make the tofu cheese sauce. Traditional lasagna often has a bechamel sauce plus a ricotta or a parmesan, and when I started testing lasagna recipes, I was making my dairy-free bechamel plus my tofu ricotta, and honestly, the extra prep work just wasn't worth it for me. I decided to try blending the tofu to get the benefit of a creamy, cheesy sauce plus the protein from the tofu all in one. This is obviously not a cheese pull kind of lasagna, but if you want that, just layer in your favorite vegan shredded cheese into this recipe. I don't feel like it's missing any of that cheesy flavor, and this tofu cheese sauce is so simple that it's a win in my books. While the lentils cook, blend the tofu cheese sauce. Combine 350 grams medium or soft tofu, a 1/4 cup nutritional yeast, 3/4 teaspoon salt, 3/4 teaspoon garlic powder, and 1 cup unsweetened plant milk. Blend until smooth. That's it. It makes me so happy to not take out my big blender to make this. So the last 2 elements you'll need are the sauce and the lasagna noodles. I opt for store-bought sauce. If you make your own sauce, kudos to you. I buy this 1.2 liter jug. I don't even know, what do you call this? Juggy thing. From Costco, and I always have some sauce left over, but I feel like it's better to have more sauce than not enough. If you're using smaller jars, then it's good to have 2 650 ml jars on hand. And I always used to use oven-ready lasagna noodles, but I found that some brands can take quite a while to cook. So I felt really brave and I tried the regular noodles that you parboil according to the package instructions, usually around 8 minutes. And I found that they're not as scary as I felt that they would be. They haven't broken apart on me. I do add a touch of oil to the cooking water, controversial perhaps, but it gives me peace of mind, and they don't stick together. With these pre-cooked noodles, the lasagna bakes much more reliably in 40 minutes. So let's layer it setup. To layer your lasagna, start by stirring 1 1/4 cup or 296 ml tomato sauce into the lentil meat mixture to moisten it some more. Spread a thin layer of tomato sauce on the bottom of a large and deep baking dish to prevent sticking. Then add a layer of noodles and another thin layer of sauce. Top that with a layer of lentil meat, then a layer of tofu cheese sauce, then a layer of noodles, and repeat. Sauce, lentil meat, tofu cheese, noodles. Sauce, lentil meat, tofu cheese, noodles. For the top layer, cover the noodles in sauce and drizzle the remaining tofu cheese sauce. Bake covered at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 minutes until the noodles are soft and the sauce is bubbling. Uncover and bake an additional 10 minutes to crisp up the top. Remove and let it sit for 10 to 15 minutes, garnishing with basil and slicing into your delicious lentil lasagna.
Look at this bounty. There is food everywhere. This is what I'm talking about. This is the best.
It's a good reward after a few hours of filming.
Are we doing this?
Can you taste test?
I'm taking my glasses off. Oh yeah, listen to that sound. It's so the lentils are so meaty. These noodles are cooked to perfection. That cheese is so cheesy. It's just full of protein. You could go do a workout and then crush some lasagna. And be like, I'm loving this. Easily my favorite lasagna ever.
Yeah.
Catherine, this is amazing. You're amazing.
Oh,
you and your lasagna together.
But it's pretty surprising how cheesy that tofu sauce is.
Super surprising.
Moist.
Super moist. You can hear it. Like, listen. It's a little disturbing, maybe. If I showed up at someone's house and they made this for me, they'd be my new best friend.
You'd move in.
Well, you made me food and I moved in. We got garlic bread. We got lasagna. We got wine. We got salad.
We got you. This is a super simple Caesar salad. We have a video for that you can check out next with sun-dried tomato bacon bits, croutons.
And a hummus dressing. So if you pair that, you just protein hitting you so many different ways.
And you can really easily layer something like spinach into this if you'd like, or mushrooms or whatever, or just get your greens on the side.
Also, Catherine made these croutons today from leftover hoagie buns that she was testing Philadelphia cheesesteak sandwich on. Vegan. Hey-o, stay tuned for that. Drop-in spoiler alerts. But we have a video on how to make your own croutons and breadcrumbs.
Yeah, we had more croutons than this, but they became our snack.
You had some too. What is it about croutons? They're just so
so crunchy, you just want to eat them. What about cost?
$11.50?
A little bit higher.
$15.50.
Close. I think it's 16 something. It's just under $17. The lentil lasagna meat cost me about $3.50, and that's using my homemade broth. If I were to use store-bought broth, that could add another $3.50 to the cost of the meat sauce. That's another example of where something really simple, like making a homemade broth with your veggie scraps that you can freeze, it starts to add up.
We also have a video on that.
If I were to make this using ground beef, a pound of ground beef would cost me about $6.50. The tofu cheese sauce cost me about $4.50, and any other combination of traditional cheese would probably cost me at least $4.50. Likely more. And if you were to use some vegan cheese shreds, then obviously that is a little pricier as well. So all in all, just under $17.
I just feel like a kid eating this lasagna, you know?
Lasagna is an exciting thing.
Yeah. I am so excited about this lasagna. I want you to make this lasagna. Make this lasagna, comment. I'm not crazy. It's that good.
This does freeze really well, so you can make it in advance, you can gift it, all of that stuff. I've tested it. It's pretty solid. While we were filming this video, friends of ours from our building just dropped off a whole bunch of these little pears from their other friends' fruit trees, right?
Yeah.
This got me thinking maybe next week's video will be our pear barley salad, because I really like making that one in the fall and for holidays. It's really pretty. So I think that might be coming up next. These recipes are all linked below for you. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and tell your friends. Make some lasagna. Have some friends over.